Brewery tour before?
Yes, not you.
Okay. I'm pretty sure I would have remembered you. Okay, cool. Well, I'm going to give you guys a quick rundown of the brewing process and kind of tell you what my day is like. So, my day begins with milling malt barley. That is the cereal grain that we use for brewing most of the beers here. And before we can use that for the brewing process, it needs to get crushed. Not into a fine powder, nice kind of broken up a little bit. And I do that, pardon me for this thing. Sorry about that. So, this is my mill room. And basically, I take sacks of grain, and I climb up on top of this case, and one by one, I drop grain bags in through that hopper, and they get milled. They basically get crushed in this mill right here, end up in this case, and for a typical batch of beer, we will use anywhere from 500 to 750 pounds of grain. Some really high alcohol beers we use upwards of 1,000 pounds of grain. And once the grain is crushed, there's a flexible screw, kind of an auger inside this white pipe, and that carries the grain over to this top tank on the left, which is called the mash tun. And in that tank, that's where grain gets mixed with hot water and will stew for about an hour. I'm actually emptying this right now. I'm cleaning up from brewing earlier today. But in the mash tun, once the grain is mixed with hot water, natural enzymes in the grain get activated, and all those starches in the grain get converted into simple sugars. So after about an hour of sitting around, we have a sweet liquid. We then drain that liquid into the boil kettle, which is on the right, and we boil the beer for about 90 minutes, and that's when we add hops for bittering, flavor, aroma. And after we're done with our boil, we will pump the beer into one of these 6 fermenters behind me. So the two, they're all different. They're all different. And we basically have the 4 fermenters behind you are for single-sized batches of beer. We do over 300 gallons at a time. And then the 2 kind of chubby fermenters right here are for double-sized batches. And once the beer gets pumped into the fermenter, that's where it gets mixed with yeast. And fermentation takes about 2 weeks, depending on the style of beer. And then when the beer is done, we are actually able to pump it into what we call serving tanks or holding tanks, which is kind of like a 300-gallon, one big giant tank. We've got 8 of them inside our walk-in cooler, and that's where the beer gets clarified, carbonated, and sent directly to our draft system. And I can give you guys a quick look. Please be careful of any hoses on the floor. So that's what a serving tank looks like, and that's where our finished beer is done.
Can we go inside?
It's a little tight in there. Yeah, you can walk inside.
Yay!
Nice.
Oh, it smells super beery in here. I guess it smells like yeast.
Oh, it smells nice.
It smells like, is that yeast?
It's not yeast. That's basically an unfermented beer smell that you get.
Oh, is that what beer smells like before it's fermented?
In fact, you guys are going to get a chance to try some unfermented beer that was made just this morning.
Oh.
So that is Brewery. I'm actually Brewery. I'm actually emptying this right now. We typically wheel up carts, collect the grain, and shovel it into carts.
And do you use that for anything, or do you just throw it away?
It gets taken to a local compost heap, and also there's a local rancher who uses it for his livestock, so it does get repurposed.
You mean they eat it?
They eat it. They love it.
Oh. Will it make them drunk?
No, it's not. There's nothing that's fermented in there. So
Just grain.
It's just grain, just kind of wet grain.
Can you use that to bake or anything?
You could. People do. It's not my favorite thing, but they make great dog biscuits.
Oh. Oh, okay.
There's a little too much fiber there.
You can never have too much fiber. Keeps you regular.
That's what.
Yeah, but it's a lot to clean up.
She's the one with all the jokes.
I know.
So, for the latter portion of the tour, go ahead and invite everyone to try some unfermented beer. Unfermented.
We have, you guys are interested,
If you're interested.
Okay, I'll try.
today while you guys are out here, the unfermented, and then if you'd like, you can try out the fermenter as well.
Do people drink unfermented beer?
No, it's not. It's probably not the best tasting thing. It's very sweet.
Sort of, you'll get to see the state.
Oh, okay.
So that's before those sugars have been fermented by you.
Can you say your name again?
Not the best thing.
Right. There you go, if you guys are
Can you say your name again for my video?
Julian.
Julian what?
Julian Shrego.
S-C-H-R-E-G-G-O.
Close. S-H-R-A-G-O.
Italian.
Close. Not really.
German. Romanian. Oh, okay, cool. Thank you, Julian.
It's a pretty dramatic difference, huh? Oh, I know. I'm glad you guys were able to stop by today.
Glass.
There you go, you don't want
So, this is unfermented beer, and you were saying that it is bitter because you don't have sugar in it.
It's, no, there is a lot of sugar in there. It will actually get more bitter when that sugar gets turned into alcohol and carbon dioxide from fermentation. So if you think it's bitter now, it will be more bitter when I serve it to you as a finished product.
Oh, interesting.
But it will taste much better, I guarantee you.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
You're welcome.
See how you started brewing and why?
I started, well, who doesn't want to make beer? I started brewing in college my freshman year, and I guess that was about 16 years ago. And
Were you a chemist or something?
engineering major.
Okay.
I'm actually still an engineer. But it was something I heard people talking about my freshman year, and I thought it was pretty interesting. And when I went home for the holiday break, I mentioned it to my parents just in a passing conversation. And they said that they knew of a winemaking and beer making supply store in Berkeley, not that far from where I grew up. And so they took me there and said, hey, let's get you a holiday gift. And they bought me a homebrewing kit in the mid-90s. That's where I got my start.
Now, did you graduate from college?
Yeah.
With an engineering degree?
Yes, I did. And I still
With a
do.
minor in beer creation?
I thought it was a minor in awesomeness. I did go to UC Santa Barbara, so actually went to UC Santa Barbara with Gabe and his wife Lena.
Oh, okay. So are you going to be competing in a beer creation contest?
Absolutely.
Oh, you are?
The next big one that's coming up is the World Beer Cup, and that is in San Diego this spring.
And you will be joined. Can you tell us which beer you're taking, or are you going to make a special beer cup beer flavor?
We're actually sending 10 beers to that competition. We're registered for 10 beers. We're going to be sending a couple that you see on the menu today, like our red ale, our pale ale. We're going to be sending one of our IPAs, a couple of our stouts. We got a whole assortment of beers this year. It's the World Beer Cup.
Oh, really? Well, that's exciting. Now, are you making a special beer for Valentine's this year?
I was hoping to, but I don't think I'll have the time.
Will you make one next year, and will it be red or pink in honor of Valentine's?
There is actually a Belgian-style beer that I brew that's infused with rose petals. So I think that would make a good Valentine's beer.
Oh my gosh, you totally have to put that on the menu. And what do you call your rose petal beer?
We're going to be calling it Rose Royce, I think.
Ah, clever. It sounds delicious. Next time I'm in Long Beach, I will have to stop off at your restaurant to partake of your unique beer flavor combination.
Thank you, please.